Hello, good afternoon. Hi guys. Are you guys prepared? Have you gotten your notes ready? I have students who only realize they don't have notes the moment they join the class. After seminar, can we see Maple? Depends on whether she want to come over or not. Yeah, I can show you guys my cat if you guys want to, but they're sleeping right now, lah, so we don't kacau them first, okay? Let us have our 2 hours of peace. Later, I can show you my cats. Yeah. Hi everyone. I see my usual students, normal students lah, right? Okay. Hi. Using a different name, is it? Hi. Hi everyone. Oh, I forgot to enter my full name. It's okay. I think I know who you are lah, okay? Yeah, just not the full name. Mm. I remember your icon. Yeah. My usual online student, ma, right? I can recognize you guys if you're my online students, okay? But if you guys are first time in my class, then hi, welcome. Nice to meet you all. Yeah, we start shortly lah because I see at the unassigned room still got so many people. So I don't know whether is everyone in yet. Yeah, but just for your information, this is English session. So we purely speak in English, okay? So all my explanations, including like writing, everything, we use English. Okay? Yeah. But of course, if let's say you usually join my Mandarin session, and then maybe just now in the morning you were busy, then you can join the English version first, and then later, I think by tonight they will start to upload all the videos to the YouTube channel. So then you guys can watch it like a day after lah. Yeah. So don't worry, all of this has replay. You guys can watch it back, even though you joined the live class. Yes, okay. Don't have to fill up any video request form. It will just be at the YouTube channel. Yeah. Okay. Now, just a few things before we start. Maybe you can get ready with your pencil box, your calculator, and then get your water bottle also because maybe you get thirsty suddenly. Okay. And for toilet breaks, I don't give toilet breaks because we only have 2 hours, right? And usually, my usual session is 1.5 hour. So this is like just another half hour extra compared to my usual class. So if you guys want to go to the toilet, then you just go lah, okay? Yeah, go and quickly come back. But I will not stop lah, okay? And later on, if you guys have any questions, don't be afraid to ask me. You guys know how to use the chat, right? I hope you guys know. If you don't know, you look at your screen, there is a chat button there one. Okay, so you press the chat button, you should be able to direct message to me. I think so. Okay. I don't think you guys can chat everyone. Should be just direct message to me. So whatever you ask will just to be me. Okay. So I can see what you ask lah, but the rest cannot. Okay. Yeah. So then whenever you guys answer me, I hope you guys do answer me. Otherwise, it will be a very boring 2 hour session. Okay. Hopefully you guys can answer me, participate a bit. Okay. We use the calculator, we calculate also. That's what I hope lah. Okay. But if you're gonna be silent, then I cannot do anything, okay? Yeah. Hi. Hi. Okay, welcome, guys. 202. I think we should start. Okay? Right, come. So, everyone, the notes, right, actually have been provided to you guys. As long as you fill up the registration form, you should get the physical copy one. But if the case that you didn't get the notes, wait, let me look for it. Just now, I have a student just texted me saying, "Oh no, I realized I didn't have the notes and everything." So, we actually provide the PDF version as well as the physical version lah. So, if let's say you cannot, you haven't gotten the notes yet, you don't have it, then, the link. Let me copy the link. You press the link. I think you guys should be access to the link tree first. And then in this link, there is like registration form. We have the seminar timetable. We have the Zoom link for today. And also there is the fourth button for you to press, which is the PDF notes and answer. And including guys, even this recent 2026, the seminar videos, right? All the links also there. So I think the admin is so good. They posted everything in the same link for you, so you can just search it up easily. Okay. But before we start, actually, I just introduce a bit first lah. Okay. If you don't want to go through the link to find the videos, right? You can also go to YouTube. You find TTC Education. They even created playlists for everyone to search up the videos easily. So if you are looking for a certain subjects, it will be there also lah, okay? And also, of course, my own YouTube channel. I also have a YouTube, which I think you can utilize it when you need, because I don't update it as often as last time anymore, because I started the channel since MCO. Okay, so then our syllabus hasn't changed since then lah. That's why all my videos are still considered updated. You still can use them as a reference. Just that if you're looking for like trial papers, discussion, I don't have that in my YouTube channel for now. I only have like those 2022, 2023 like past years lah, okay? Yeah, so you can look for my videos in YouTube. Whichever that can help you, you can watch lah, okay? Especially this time your exam is gonna be for 4 chapters until Form 5 Chapter 3, Chapter 4, Chapter 5. I'm not sure which one is your exam, because different school has different pace, right? I think yesterday or like Thursday or Tuesday, my online class student told me their exam is until Chapter 5. Okay, so I was kind of shocked. So I cannot do anything because my current flow in the class also only until Chapter 4. So if you really have Chapter 5 in your exams, then maybe you try to search up in my YouTube channel if there's any Chapter 5 explanations that you can refer to lah, okay? And after the class, if you guys want to, oh, sorry, I forgot. After the class, if you guys want to ask me questions, for my usual students, you probably have my WhatsApp. You can just contact me. But for those of you who join me for the first time, I'm not going to share my contact number lah, because this is a public thing. I hope you guys can understand, okay? So you guys can find me through Instagram. You can DM me your questions there lah, okay? So this is the Insta. Yeah, okay? So this is what I provide to you. And today, right, in my class, I'm not going to be too ambitious. I will only cover bab 2. Okay, now main thing is because chapter 3 in my YouTube, I have those videos. Penyata, penyesuaian bank, belanjaan. Now, of course, I know record tak lengkap also I have it because it's a very hot topic. Everybody like stuck in the chapter. So I have videos for that. But live class and video class is totally different lah. So that's why I will have to cover chapter 2 mainly because it's of a bigger question. My school hasn't taught chapter 3. Is it easy to catch up? Oh, your exam is until chapter 3, but your teacher not yet teach at all. Then when is your exam actually? When is your exam? I think your teacher should have to teach, right? That's a bit confusing. Okay. If your teacher hasn't teach you chapter 3 yet, my YouTube also has the video. So if you want to, you can view it, because in the past year, we have seminar. I also did cover the chapter 5, okay? Chapter 5. Chapter 3, sorry. Penyata Penyesuaian Bank. So it was from my past seminar, 4 years ago actually, but it's still applicable lah. If you don't mind, you can watch it to learn on your own. So this one is for chapter 3.1. I'm on chapter 5. Oh, okay. You're the one who told me you have until chapter 5, I think. I think you're the only one, because so far none of my students told me they are until chapter 5, except for you and another student in my like other online class, I think. So for those of you who are having chapter 5, I'm sorry, I cannot do anything for now, because for seminar today, we only focus 2 and 3, and in my class, I will cover chapter 2. Okay? Right. So before we start, we're going to talk about exam format lah, so you know roughly. Actually just started, so it doesn't count. Oh, okay, is it? So you're on chapter 5 in school, but not sure whether got come out in exam or not, is it? Your teacher never actually said there is chapter 5 in exams. They just teach. I have one student told me their teacher finished teaching the syllabus already until chapter 7. I was so impressed. I'm like, how? Okay, like I can't even do that. So in like 1 week, maybe the teacher teach like 2 chapters at once. Yeah, so if your teacher are rushing to finish the syllabus, right, I think it's totally normal, because you guys are gonna have your kerja kursus, right? So now I'm gonna explain the exam format for you, okay? You started your project, yes, okay. I think that is kind of good. Because if you guys join tuition classes, right, then you rely on your tuition teachers lah for your chapters because you will listen better because you pay for it, right? Okay, yeah. But when you go to school, right, you tend to not listen to your school teacher because you feel like they speak so fast. So your project is highly reliant on your school teacher. I cannot help you with your school project because every school teacher will have their own sets of things that they want. Okay, so different school they want different things. Like butil, right? Especially we say belanja, hasil. There are so many kinds. So your teacher will choose their preferred kinds and then ask you to use them. What they mainly do is ask you to change the numbers lor. So that's why say for your school project, I mean the kertas tiga, you focus on your school teacher's way. You follow her exactly. Whatever she say to do, just do it. Okay, don't complain because it will be 20 marks free for your SPM. I think it's worth it lah, okay, to listen to your school teacher for that. But if you talk about exams, then I can still help you a bit if you join the tuition classes, okay? So your papers, for, let's say we say school exam, kertas satu. Okay, you guys know how paper one is, right? For account, paper one, fully objective. Full objective, okay? So we will have 40 questions, contributes to 40% of your paper. 100%, you score 40 here. Okay, now what I'm saying is currently based on your school exams, okay? Because right now you guys will have your midterm exam, and then the next round is trial exam, right? So both will follow this way to calculate. It's only when SPM time, your 40 marks here will be split half to your paper 3. So only SPM, your portfolio or your project will come in place. But for now in school exams, the 2 exams you're going to take soon is going to be fully just paper 1 and paper 2 marks, okay? So kertas 2, we will have 2 bahagian. A lot of people actually thought there is 3 sections, but it's not. It's actually only 2 sections that you need to answer from. For bahagian A, you have 3 soalan. You need to answer all of them. Soalan 1, right, is 10 marks. We call them soalan struktur. So it means they are gonna ask you for exact answers lah. Example, berikan contoh aset bukan semasa. Your answer is berabot. You just give them direct answers one. In accounts, we never write essay except for maybe chapter 1. Okay, because Form 5 chapter 1, right, we have analysis like what tokokan, margin untung kasar, margin untung pesat. That is the only chapter where you need to like maybe write a little bit longer sentences to explain the situation. But it wouldn't be at soalan 1 lah, I say, okay? Usually for Form 5 chapter 1, they will be a single question of its own. So which gives you about 10 marks there at least, okay? So for question 1, usually 5 parts, A, B, C, D, E. So they will be 2 marks each. Okay, they ask you like theory questions. It doesn't need to be only from Form 4. It also can be from Form 5. Example, apakah bilangan perkongsi bagi perkongsian biasa? So your answer must be 2 to 20, something like that. So you give them the answer according to what they ask for. Okay, and then for question 2, question 3, these 2 will be 25 marks each. So both have to answer. They will be long questions lah, like record tak lengkap, I expect. If your exam gonna be having chapter 4, then you will see perkongsian there also. But if you're not gonna have chapter 4, right, you only exam until chapter 3, then most likely your soalan 3 is from Form 4, pelarasan. The one where you do APUR, PKK, that is the format. Okay, so after kertas 2 bahagian A, next is answer bahagian B. Bahagian B will consist of 3 questions. You are supposed to answer 2. Okay. Soalan 4, soalan 5, soalan 6. Now, what I want to say is the reality, okay? A lot of students actually tell me, teacher, I want to do every question here. But I want to say, you really have to decide based on your ability. If your ability is to do only 2 questions, you only have that time. You only have 1 hour left. You want to do all 3 questions, then you must be fast. And provided that you really know how to do all the questions. If somehow you stuck at question 4 where you are weak, but you keep doing the question 4, you stuck until 40 minutes, only left 20 minutes, how are you going to do your question 5 and question 6? So I say the priority is you choose the 2 questions that you're most confident with, you do them first. If you really want to answer the third question, Okay, let's say 4, 5, 6. You choose 4 and 5. For question 6, you're not sure. You want to do it, right? Then you see if you really have the time or not. If you have extra time, you do it. But you cannot guarantee marks one because you say, teacher, if I score 10 here, 10 here, 10 here, can I get like 30 marks? Of course not. Your teacher will only choose the highest two marks questions to give you your mark here for your bahagian B. So there's no point for you to separate your, your answer into different sections and then you think they will give you all the marks together. So of course not. So that's why here my sequence of answering is always you start with question 2, question 3. You do these two first, and then bahagian B, you choose 2 questions. Last, you do soalan 1. Okay, why? Because I realized, right, when I discuss in class, especially towards the end when we are almost sitting for SPM, I will let students do question 1. They will stuck there for like 20 minutes for the same question. So if you're gonna spend 20 minutes here, I rather you spend your 20 minutes at your question 2 and 3 first. Your last 10 minutes of your exam, you go and do your soalan 1. Okay? Teacher, is belanjawan tunai bahagian B or A? Usually, belanjawan should be at B1. But if you're lucky, they might come out at question 3. You hope lah. You hope. Okay? Yeah. So normally, because belanjawan tunai is comparing to other chapters, much easier. They only focus on 2 things, but money. So that's why if they want to come out at bahagian A, it feels like too easy already. So they love to come out at bahagian B1. So I would definitely choose it if there is belanjawan tunai in your bahagian B. Okay, right. So the marks here, each of them are 20. But don't put too much of expectation. I have seen belanjawan tunai being 10 marks before, 12 marks. So they will share with another topic to get another 8 more marks. That is maybe your Form 4 topic. They ask you to do like what, buku tunai or whatsoever. So that's why you guys have to be prepared with your Form 4, especially buku tunai and buku tunai ringgit. Why? Because usually these 2 things, they can merge with 3.1, Penyata Penyesuaian Bank, your chapter 3. Because usually after your buku tunai, you can check towards the Penyata Bank they give you. So you can get yourself prepared with Form 4 buku tunai, how to do it first. Okay? Right. So for your bahagian A, total is 60 marks. Bahagian B, choose 2. So which total to 40 marks. Okay, then the entire paper is 100. But it wouldn't be 100 in the end. It will be converted back to 60%. Now, by the way, I want to say, usually when I tell you guys, I mention it this way, but some of the teachers, they will just take 140. They take, let's say your total is 90, right? Divide by 140 times 100. Can also, but I think there is slight difference on maybe decimal lah. So don't worry, just try your best to score as much lah, okay? Especially now when kertas 1 is 40 marks, you try to score as high as you can. 30 and above is the most secure. Okay, then your paper 2, I cannot confirm for you lah, because paper 2, right, you never know what to expect. So kertas 1, at least you got A, B, C, D to choose from. You try to lessen your mistakes. Okay, so timing wise, you will have 1 hour, 30 minutes for your paper 1. But if your school exam only gives you 1 hour, 15 minutes, right, that is only in school. SPM is 1.5 hours. Okay, and then for kertas 2, 2 hours, 30 minutes. It may seem like a lot, but it's really not enough time on, okay? Yeah, so for today, my aim, I will be doing record tak lengkap, 2 of them with you, kaedah perbandingan, kaedah analysis. But because, right, I scared I spend too much time on perbandingan. It's just like how I'm afraid you all spend too much time on soalan 1, you know? So I will start my explanation with kaedah analysis first, which is a tougher version. After we finish kaedah analysis, the full question, I will do kaedah perbandingan. Earlier on in my Mandarin session, I used the very last 30 minutes of the class to cover perbandingan, which is actually doable. So I will be spending entire 1.5 hour just to talk about analysis. Is that okay? Right. So if everyone is ready, I need you to take out maybe 3 pieces of paper. At least 3 lah, okay? At least 3. So I will have to write explanations for you first before we start doing any questions. Because for analysis, right, you guys can take a look. The nota starts from page 4. Okay, what we provided is how you do your account perdagangan. Which bahagian of paper 2 will record tak lengkap appear? Depends on which record tak lengkap. Usually, if it's perbandingan, most likely is B, bahagian B. So they can be 10, can be 20 marks. But analysis is usually 25. The list is 20 also. So means analysis can be A, can be B1. But anyhow, the marks is quite close by. 25, 20 marks. So not much difference lah. But perbandingan can 10, can be 20. Yeah, so perbandingan most likely will be at bahagian B. But analysis, this time I think should be at bahagian A lor, because if your exam is until chapter 3, your Form 5 chapter 3 is not very long also. Most probably will put at bahagian A. Yeah. Okay, right, come. So I was saying that page 4 and 5 is the nota for our account perdagangan, untung rugi, yes, okay. But I mean, of course, all this basic format you should already know since Form 4. This is what you must make sure you are okay with. And then PKK also like the usual ones lah, nothing much different. But what I want to discuss is about all these details inside of the format. Before you can actually start doing account perdagangan dan untung rugi, you need some preparation work, right? So I will introduce about it to you guys, okay? So get ready, paper, record tak lengkap. Okay, so I'm going to talk about 2.2 to be exact. Kaedah analysis. A moment, actually quite hot. I want to go on my aircon. Give me a few seconds, okay? Wait. Okay. Let's start. Okay, first thing. Record tak lengkap. If we translate it, is meaning incomplete record. Okay, but the meaning of incomplete, right, can have two, right? I cannot say that you completely did not do it, but I can also say that you have done one but not the other. So that's why incomplete, right? There's two definitions to it. It depends on how they interpret the sentence. So truly, okay. So the two kinds are only did one side of catatan buku. Example, you were supposed to be debit, credit, debit, credit. But what you did at the soalan lah, okay, the soalan bit was they did debit, they never do the credit. They did the credit, but they never do the debit. So I can assume that most of the time in your record tak lengkap is always this case. Okay, they only done one side of the record, the other side is missing. So that's why your record is incomplete. Okay, so that's the first assumption lah. Then the second assumption is never recorded. So no matter is 2 steps or 3 steps or 4 steps that it's supposed to be, none of them have been done. So how you know if it's never recorded? If they say belum record or anything related to this meaning, tertinggal catat, terlupa record, also can, guys, alright? So this record tak lengkap kaedah analysis will be more complicated because there are so many cases of it. But we will see belum record as a guideline to know if we need to do 2 or more steps. Okay, right, so now for your steps, here in my class, right, I really want you guys to follow. Otherwise, you will miss out on things. Okay, this is the safest way already. But of course, in some situations, we might not need to do these steps one. Okay, so first step, we will need to cari tunai atau bank. Okay, now most likely is bank only. But if you're unfortunate, your exam question comes up with tunai bank together, then both also you have to use the same method to find their number. Okay, so you know tunai and bank is meaning money, right? So then money is the most crucial thing in a transaction. We use them to buy, we use them to, we collect them when we sell things, correct? So tunai and bank both will have penerimaan, pembayaran. And I will explain to you why this is my first step, okay? So your cari tunai atau bank is gonna be like how you usually do a normal ledger. You start off with baki awal of tunai atau bank. You add on all of the penerimaan, jumlah penerimaan, you minus every pembayaran you have. For what? For you to get baki HP. Okay, and the main purpose of me asking you guys to look for tunai and bank first is because of these two things. Penerimaan and pembayaran. Do you guys know where do you usually look for hasil and belanja? It's at the penerimaan. It's at the pembayaran. Okay, you want to look for hasil, you look at what you receive. If in the penerimaan section, you do see a commission, that is your hasil, you get it? So that's why I want you to do it first is because tunai and bank only follows by diterima, dibayar. They don't care whether it is according to tempo or not. Because all I care about here is what's left of your money. But if you say you want to find hasil, you want to find belanja, it must be sebenar. We do pengiktirafan hasil dan belanja like your Form 4 topic says. Okay, we want to make it the exact value according to your tempo perakaunan so that I can find the real untung or rugi per se. So that's why over here, we find tunai or bank first is to avoid later on will be used to do pelarasan will be used to do pelarasan, such as susut nilai, terkurang, terlebih, all these things fine. Hasil belanja. Sebenar. The meaning of sebenar, ikut tempo. So they are of different concept because if you talk about money, we only care about as of now what you have, okay? But if you say hasil belanja, what I care about is what you're supposed to pay for the year, you show me at the belanja section. So that's why since they have a different concept, then we gotta make sure the original form of the penerimaan and the pembayaran is kept and used to find baki first. After we find baki already, then guys, all these penerimaan and pembayaran is free to use. You can just simply change the numbers. It wouldn't affect who? Tunai or bank. So that's what I want you to do first, okay? Now, after you find your tunai and bank, right? The next step, number 2, is to cari model awal. Okay, now I tested this before. If you want to do your model hour last, right, it doesn't really affect one because it is still gonna be asset minus liability lah. But one thing, one downside about finding your model hour last is that your eyes don't know where to focus because your question at the end of it is gonna be full with words, numbers, crossing everything, so messy. You want to find for model hours item, you don't know where to look at. Okay, so that's why now, as of now, your paper's still very clean, right? Okay, we're gonna find the original numbers first, because to find model is an EP is to use asset, tolak, liability. But of course, they have to be everything, baki, awal. Okay, and in this case, remember over here, when we cari tunai and bank, didn't we need their baki BB and baki HP? This is one of the trick question. Your asset, when you calculate your model hour, must include tunai dan bank. Will be left out from list. Okay, I've seen so many record tak lengkap questions before. Most of them, I say almost 50% of the question, they will purposely not put the tunai and the bank in the list. So when you are calculating your model hour, right, you might find it wrong because your assets are missing very crucial things, that is tunai and bank. So that's why if we do tunai and bank first, I can guarantee that I acknowledge the baki BB. I can add them into the list so that my model hour wouldn't be wrong. Okay, yeah. So first step and second step, we will do it if it's not provided. But if you are so lucky, you look at the question, tunai bank, both PB, baki, HP given, also already in the list. They gave you model hour, guys. You are so lucky. Please do the record tak lengkap question because you can straight away start your third step already. Okay? So there are times where you are fortunate. They might give you all of this. But if they don't give you, you gotta find it yourself. Okay? Yeah, so this is when you're unfortunate lah. Yeah. So now our third step is where the pelarasan process will start. Go to two places, okay? If you still don't know what's a pelarasan until now, pelarasan is meaning adjustments. Okay, so means now in your record there's problems, right? So you are supposed to help me adjust them in order for them to become the correct value lah. That's exactly what we are trying to do right now. Okay, so we said it's a record tak lengkap, must be having a lot of things without one side done. Okay, so where do we look for pelarasan? There will be two areas. The first area, Baki list. The exact place where you look for Baki BB, Baki HB of all your asset dengan liability, you look at that. Okay, so in your Baki list, there will be example 1st Jan, 31st December. Okay, you help me look for two groups of things. Okay, so the first group is terkurang, terlebih. So the front can be any combination of belanja that comes with the word prabayar, belum bayar. Also can be any combo of hasil, belum terima, belum terperoleh. Okay, now how do we actually handle the terkurang terlebih when there comes two dates? Okay, because usually in like Form 4, we do pelarasan, right? You usually do the year end. So you feel like, oh, it's quite easy lah. So terkurang, we just plus it back, terlebih, then we minus it out, right? But when it comes to having 1st January, you suddenly don't know what to do. I say you remind yourself, whatever at 1st January, they are Baki BB. Whatever at 31st December, they are your Baki HB. So the question is, guys, can your Baki HB end up to share the same space as your Baki BB? Do you ever do that when you're in ledger? You found HB, you put back the same position, bottom. Do you do that for your Baki BB? You don't, right? So every time you found your Baki HB, it will always be opposite that you put your Baki BB. If you can understand this concept, right, you just need to remember your Baki HB will do. So, and at year end, whenever it's terkurang, we will add. If it's terlebih, we will minus. That's how you do it, right, in Form 4. Okay, so we just handle kurang plus. Lebih, we minus. And now, if you want to decide for your 1st January, you just got to go to the opposite side. So if the year end is negative, means 1st Jan is going to be positive for terlebih. While if terkurang is plus at year end, beginning of the year will be minus. So the front and the back will always do a different thing. One plus, another is minus. One is negative, another is going to be positive. That's what you're supposed to handle when it comes to the Baki list. So you look for it, whether you see any of these examples, okay? So once you're done with all this already, then the second step you do is to look for any asset bukan semasa that the 1st Jan and the 31st December is showing different value. Now, how do we define that it's weird? It's because asset bukan semasa, they have a principle to follow one, which is called principle cost. So suppose, right, no matter how long you have used your asset bukan semasa, you have to maintain the value even after 10 years. There is no more value of it. Your cost will still maintain. So the odd part is when we have principal cost to follow, but the question actually gives you two different numbers. Okay, example, the front here shows 15,000, but the back shows 13,000. This is odd. Okay, why? Because the value goes down. And obviously we know the only reason the value can go down is two. Number one, there is susut nilai. Okay, there is a depreciation, the value gotten lesser. That's why it decreases. Okay, second reason must be I sell the asset bukan semasa. That's why the value become different. So now what I am in task to do is to check From the initial value, 15,000, did this asset bukan semasa go through any beli, go through any jual before it can become 13,000? Now, if the number is not 13,000, then the difference here that we see is what we call the susut nilai. For example, 15,000 is your asset bukan semasa. I checked at my buku tunai, this place. Why? You buy things, you sell things, of course you gain money, you spend money, right? So you go and look for your money section. Do you see any asset bukan semasa name there? If yes, you bought, you sold. But the thing is, if you cannot find anything at all, shouldn't my cost maintain as 15,000? Because for the year, I didn't do anything, right? Okay, if I didn't do anything, why would the number change? That's why over here, the question is trying to make you do Form 5 susut nilai formula, which is to use Baki BB compare to Baki HB in order to find SN, SNT. So of course, in the process of it, I already say it's not just only the Baki BB that I compare to HB. We also have to check if throughout the process, if there is any beli atau job. If there is, right guys, this number that you calculate on your own, Baki BB tambah beli tolak job, is your cost. Then what about the HB they give you? The HB they give you is only there to act as a nilai buku. Do you guys find this familiar? You have these three things in a format one. Cost, SNT, nilai buku. Which format is that? Your PKK, right? So now they are choosing a different way to come up with the susut nilai, different approach. Usually for susut nilai, you use cost times percentage. Cost minus SNT times percentage. But now they don't need the percentage. They just want you to compare the beginning and the end. You find me the middle. So that's why, guys, what is the susut nilai if I say there is no beli, no job? Your susut nilai for this example is 2,000. Do you guys know why it's 2,000? Because it went from 15,000 to 13,000. It has a decreased value. If it increases, then I have to find out the beli job. But if it decreases, usually just find the difference. That should be your susut nilai already. I would say it's in fact more direct compared to your other susut nilai formula, because your other susut nilai formula needs to use percentage, But this one just plus minus, then you find the answer already. Yeah, so how you know whether there is any susut nilai inside? This one is hidden one. You have to find by yourself. Again, you compare the Baki BB to the Baki HB. As long as the front and the back has a difference, then this asset bukan semasa is suspicious. You have to go and check whether after plus, after minus, does it become 13,000. If it does, right guys, I really did draw 2K. Okay, no? Then, no susut nilai. Because if I sell 2,000 of the asset bukan semasa away, my cost really did become 13,000. In that case, you got no susut nilai. So we still have to confirm one. You cannot say, oh, the moment I see this, then it is susut nilai already. No, you need to check. Okay, right. So only two things in the Baki list you have to be careful. Now, once you finish the Baki list already, the next group of pelarasan you have to do, of course, maklumat tambahan. How can we avoid this, right? Okay, but I want to say, everything out of the maklumat tambahan is just normal. Okay, I say, every point here does 2 steps. At least I can guarantee you, in kaidah analysis, right, you really cannot avoid one. It's always gonna be two steps. Like kaidah perbandingan, sometimes it's 1 step, but here no. It's forever 2 steps. I do so many questions already. I tell you, it's always been 2 steps. This is the regular method, okay? But if you see question, teacher, I came late because I'm outside. I think later you watch back the video lor, because we will upload at the YouTube one. But if you want a screenshot first, you can. Come. I let you screenshot first. You done? Okay. All right, so we continue. Now, second case is the odd case. You need to depend on two steps or three steps if. Okay, the situation is related to A, B, T, A, B, B. Okay, now I can only tell you these five things lah. To be exact, usually it's term five. But if there is more than these five, I cannot guarantee what they will come out others. But as long as I tell you there's a few things you don't relate to them lah. Okay, so what's related to ABT? ABB. Five things Pulangan, jualan. Can you guys tell me what is the other name for pulangan jualan? Is it masuk or keluar? Yes, very good, Calvin. Masuk. So if you can look out for that, both okay? Zishan also correct. Next, if it's account belum bayar, pulangan belian. So ultimately, the other name is pulangan keluar already lah. Of course, cannot share the same name, right? Okay, so pulangan keluar for ABB. This is the first one now, okay? Now, other than pulangan jalan, we also have to consider discount. Still remember which one uses diberi and diterima? If it's your account belum terima, you receive money from them, give them discount. Diberi. Yes, okay. You bayar. Of course, you cannot give people discount lah. You go to 99 Speed Mart, you say, I give you discount, okay? Where can? Of course, 99 Speed Mart gives you discount, so you receive diterima. So when bayar, terima. Terima, you beri. Okay, discount diberi. What else? One more. Sorry. Only ABT, hutang lapor. Just these five things. Okay, now if you see these five things, you have to consider to do two steps or three steps. How do you know if it's three steps? You see if they say belum record. Okay, now two steps is when, if you cannot imagine, right, I tell you the two steps is like this one. They will just put point one, pulangan jualan 500. This is how you're supposed to do two steps. Because did they say anything that, pulangan jalan never been recorded before? They never say lah. So I'm gonna do two steps that I assume hasn't been in the question. I will settle it for them. Okay? But if they say belum record, suddenly it become three steps. Okay? So what are the two? What are the three steps? Okay, they share the same thing actually. If two steps, right? Number one, label. Label as what? Account perdagangan. Of course, I scared you're not used to my short form, so I write the full name first. Usually, if we label fast, we will call it AP. Account perdagangan. AP. Okay. What else? You can also choose hasil symbol, belanja symbol. Okay. Second step. After you done label, you will put them into account kawalan. Depends if it's related to belum terima or account kawalan belum bayar. This one is to help you find your jualan and belian credit. If you don't put inside the account kawalan, I cannot find the real jualan and the belian credit. So that's why we need to have it inside the second step. Okay, so two steps must do. Must do. Okay, so it's the third step. When they say belum record, you need to tolak baki HB. Account belum terima, account belum bayar. Why? Because you see, at the first place, I told you guys, your question, right, will be providing you a baki list, which in this baki list, they will have all sorts of asset, liability. ABT, ABB is inside already. So when I assume of this chapter, we usually will do steps that is not appeared yet in the soalan, which obviously the pulangan, the discount, hutang lapor has nowhere to be seen. But ABT, ABB has already been in the list, right? So that's why if I want to choose my two steps, I will never touch my baki HB unless they say belum record. That is when I know, even though they appeared, but I really haven't changed the number yet. So I really have to go to the Baki HP and deduct it out. And in fact, actually, all five of these things I mentioned will make hutang tolak one. Pulangan, no matter who returns, the hutang will be deducted what you pay lesser because you return the item. Discount also is meant to deduct what hutang lapok they run away. Of course, no more. ABT will minus. Okay, so these three steps you only do if belum record. They never say you do the first two steps. Is that clear? Okay, now, what you don't have to be concerned about, not related. PHR. Okay, because a lot of people when they say peruntukan hutang ragu, they think they need to do 2 or 3 steps or so. But no lah. You see, PHR usually is 2 steps of its own. You take ABT's number as a temporary source. You use the number as a guide to find a percentage, and then that's called a PHR. What is the second step after your PHR? You find whether it's a pertambahan or a pengurangan. So you see, none of these 2 steps are related to ABT at all. You only borrow the value as a guide. And same goes to hutang, lapok, terpulih. If it appears, why is it not related to ABT? Because for this person to become a terpulih, first of all, it has to be hutang lapok already. What do we do when it's hutang lapok? You deduct from the baki roll. So is the person still your ABT? No. That's why even if they come back, you will just view it as a regular hasil. Do you get it? Okay, so that's why these two things lah, especially if you see them, do not do 2 or 3 steps. It should be 2 steps only. Okay, if it's 2 or 3 that you need to consider, must be these 5 things. Okay, right, so I'm done talking about the process already. As long as you can complete these 3 steps, then you can start your format. Okay, teacher, contra, you didn't include it also, or it's impossible to come out in this chapter. Normally contra, you mean the ABT and the ABB thing, right? Usually, I don't see it much in the exam. For contra in this chapter, not much. Because they have so many things to ask already. They wouldn't ask about contra lah. So if there is, then you just do like normal. Also can, also need to do. But it's just a simple process like you go to ABT, you put contra, ABB, you put contra, just like that. So it doesn't have the 2 steps or 3 steps thing. So that's why if contra appears, then you just do like how your Form 4 account kalan is. But in order to do the 3 steps, it's usually just these 5. Okay, right. So nota is done already. Everyone, are you all done writing? Do you need me to wait? Or do you want to screenshot the whole thing? Not yet. Okay, I wait for you. So after this, then I will start exercise already. Screenshot this, can? Wait, I zoom out lor, okay? It's a bit long lah, so it will be smaller. Okay, no problem. The rest, please also tell me when you're done, so I can like move on, Done screenshot, okay. Done screenshot, okay, can. No problem. Let's start the exercise. Seems like a lot to do, right? Okay. But I think the question we choose is quite smooth lah. Okay, hopefully you feel so too. But I cannot do a very difficult question with you unless it's like SPM seminar time. Usually when SPM seminar, I will choose all the toughest question. But because today, right, I'm not sure of everybody's level, So some of you guys are newly joined to my class. You don't know how my speed is. So if I do something very difficult, I don't think you can handle it. So today we just try to at least cover the basic type of questions first. If you can do the basic question, then you can slowly upgrade. Okay? Teacher, which topic for Form 4 you think is best to focus? Okay, of course, usually is the Pelarasan, Chapter 8, Form 4. And then if you want to make sure your Form 5 is not risky, because like Chapter 3, right, we'll use buku tunai as I say. So best you guys try to study a bit on your chapter 4 buku catatan pertama, like how you open journal arm, journal has, buku tonight, all this. And also your chapter 8 lor. Mainly these two is very important lah. But if you aim for like maybe 3 marks, right? Chapter 2. Because in your Form 4 chapter 2, right, you guys remember you have this jadwal thing to fill up, the plus minus one. That one I think you can do 1 or 2 questions. If it comes out, then best for you. But if it doesn't come out, then at least you didn't waste too much time on it. Because bab 2 is like very basic. If they come out, then 3 mark lor. But I don't think so lah. Yeah, so best you prepare your bab 4 first, especially buku tonight and buku tonight Renjit, these two. The format, you must know. Okay? Alright, so next, look at page 11 now. This is our question for today. I will do only 2 questions because that's all for 2 hours lah, okay? Right, come. For analysis. How do you know it's record tak lengkap? Analysis. Analysis uses every single element. Asset, liability, EP, belanja, and hasil. So we can see that its analysis is due to these two, belanja and hasil. They will give using buku tunai, account bank. Teacher, no bab 3 covered. Yeah, cannot because only 2 hours. I mean, of course, I want to be ambitious lah, but I don't want to like cover halfway and then like you don't understand. I go to chapter 3 like that. No point, no. So if you guys want to, you can, as I say, I have video in my YouTube which covers chapter 3 one. You guys can go and watch the video for your exam. Yeah. Okay, so because chapter 3 in my previous year seminar I did before, but chapter 2, no matter how many times I do, right, still got students cannot do, so that's why I still cover the harder chapter lah. Okay? Yeah. Come, buku tonight and account bank is where you will see your belanja and hasil. That's why exactly the moment you see them saying tidak menyimpan account yang lengkap, you confirm it's a record tak lengkap. How you know it's analysis? You see this thing here, account bank. Okay, confirm analysis already. Okay, you can also tell by the format they want. Down here, they requested for account perdagangan PKK. So that's why you know analysis. Okay, right, come. So what should we do? First thing, we label properly first our sections. This part here is where you find all of your baki. Okay? Chapter 2, yes. You all just find this lah, okay? Right, so continue. So the baki is 1st January as baki BB, 31st December, baki HB. So what did we say to do is that we want to make sure that Tuna and bank is within the list, right? So first thing, you can label all of your items first, then you confirm got bank or not. So kenderaan, perabot, ABS, inventory, ABT, AS. And I've done this already. Then you can do other questions also. Yeah, don't worry, because seminar, I usually will choose the first question lah. But if you've done it already, you can do other questions also. Then later, if you got problem, you ask me. Okay? Right, so account belum bayar, LS. Now then, you guys can see this one, right? Kada bayaran. It's a belanja related thing, but belum bayar. So we put a star is to notify ourselves that, okay, later I need to do this. This is a pelarasan hidden within the list, which they assume you do it yourself. If you don't do it, then you got no marks, okay? Right, insurance prabayar. Also, AS, related to insurance, right? One of the pelarasan. Now, for pinjaman, right, if you're not sure, because in Form 5, they love to do this. They like to split the pinjaman, LS, LBS. But I say, don't worry, you can check on one thing. Did they give you any tarik matang? Nope. Any difference between the number? Nope. Check down here at the maklumat tambahan. Anything about pinjaman having to be paid? No, we only see faedah atas pinjaman. Now in that case, you confirm every sections also no changes of pinjaman, right? Nothing about the tarik matang. Then you can basically confirm your pinjaman is the normal version. All the while, right, since Form 4 when we learn, pinjaman default is LBS. We only change it to LS starting from Form 5 because they mentioned about tarik matang. When is the due date to pay? But if they don't mention, means it's gonna be in the long run. We slowly pay them. That's why LPS. Okay. And good news, guys. Can you see model? They will not provide model RQ for you. This one, you only can find in PKK. Impossible to find it here. So if they give you, it's always model hour. Okay, so it's a good news actually. Why? Because among the 2 steps I mentioned just now, isn't it one of the steps being Jari model hour? If they give you already, you don't need to do step 2. But I say, you still need to do step number 1. Why? Did you see the word bank inside the list? You didn't. And why I keep saying bank? Because it's only account bank. It's not even buku tunai, okay? There's no tunai here in the question. It's only bank alone. So that's why if they never give you the bank, please put it in yourself. Asset semasa. Okay, why? Because at the end of the day, your question requires PKK, right? Your PKK will rely on the 31st December list. So if I do not add the bank in myself, I will be missing out on this SS muscle. So I have to add on myself. Okay, where is the Baki, BB, and HP of your bank? Of course, look at account bank. Didn't they give you Baki BB? 2008. Okay, put that into the our list. How to find Baki HP, guys? Can you see? They did you something very good. They found the total of the left. They also found the total on the right. Isn't it different? You guess why it's different? Because you're supposed to have HP fill up on this side in order for them to balance what? But now they didn't fill up the HP for you. So how are you supposed to find that? Just take the 31,000 minus the 20,340. Can you guys tell me how much is it? 31,000 minus 20,340. Anyone? Okay, very good. Saw your answers already, 10,660. So now that you found your Baki HP, I want to say, from this point onwards, all of these numbers within the penerimaan and the pembayaran section is considered diterima, dibayar now, but you can change them to sebenar when you do your pelarasan. Okay, so you can change them freely as you like. They are all individuals by themselves already, no longer attached to bank. Why? Because bank already found their final answer. So they are no longer using all this information. I will use them to find hasil belanja right now. Okay, so now what should we do? After bank and model is found, third thing to do, pelarasan. What did I ask you guys to look for? I asked you to look for these 2 groups. Terkurang terlebih, asset bukan semasa. In which one of them I already found. Terkurang ataupun terlebih. These 2. Correct? Okay. Belum bayar. Wait, I want to move it up. Stop there. Okay, belum bayar is kurang. Prabayar lebih. So for you to settle terkurang plus, terlebih minus. So what happens to the front? Plus. As of this one, when they put dash, means 0. Do you need to do anything? Nothing. Okay, so where do you apply them to? You see, it is called kurang bayar. Where do you know it's kurang bayar? Over here lah. How much you pay? Kada bayaran, you paid 890. But it's the kurang. So what must you do? Add the 230 to this number, and that is where you found your sebenar lah. Okay, so I will write the process out for you guys. Usually I don't, but I scared you're lost, so that's why I will write. Okay, so plus 230. This is your working. Now I will put the brand new number in front at the kada bayaran's name, and this is where I put belanja symbol. Can you all find? 1120. First pelarasan settled. Okay, second, insurance. I'm supposed to minus 180 plus 60. Whichever you write first also can, as long as you did both of them, okay? So for insurance, plus 60 minus 180. What is your brand new insurance number? 480. Can? Settle the kurang terlebih. And now, what else is suspicious in the list? Second thing, look for asset bukan semasa. You see, I have two ABS, right? Which one of the following has two different numbers for the front and the back? Kenderaan, same. But perabot, different. Yes, okay, it's different. So it has increased, right? I say lah, do you think perabot can increase in value? I buy a chair, I use for 10 years, then suddenly increase by 400 again. Impossible, what? So perabot and all those other ABS, right, is no chance of increasing. But you say premise, then maybe lah, okay, right? Because premise, like all those property, houses, of course they grow in value. But all these other ABS, they only fall, they never increase one. So why? From 6,000, it became 6,004? Only one reason. You bought new perabot. And when you buy things, what do you use? You use money, right? Look at dibayar. You must spend money, man. Otherwise, how you get the perabot? Can you see it here? 1,000. This is what? Dibeli. Okay, so you can see the changes now. Initially, it was 6,000. If I add 1,000 to it, the cost is not 6,004. They gave me a wrong information. The cost of the perabot now should be 7,000. Then why they show me 6,004? I already said the front part is where they want you to use to find cost. And this new number they give you is mainly just to act as a nilai buku. So you just find me the difference between the two numbers. Then that is called susut nilai. Okay, so I'm gonna remove this 6,004. You already know the difference is 600, right? Okay, what I want you to do is use the previous name, perabot. Since they typed out for me already, might as well just use it, okay? I'm going to add the two alphabets in front, S and perabot. This is 1 point already. We know it's a 600. So I no longer need the 1,000 and the dibeli because the main thing of this dibeli here is just to add into ABS one. I already did. Why do I still keep the 1,000? Correct, okay? So I changed my cost already. I found my SN, but one more thing you need to do. After every SN, there must be SFP. So to make it simpler, I think you could just put behind minus 600. Because when we do PKK, right, you are not required to put susut nilai terkumpul perabot for every single point, right? So you will put into the respective column. So might as well just put beside, then you know directly this 600 belongs to who? Belongs to perabot. Okay? Alright, now we are done with 3 pelarasan within the baki. Nothing else already. Now we should focus on maklumat tambahan. Okay, let's move down. Over here. Maklumat tambahan, I want to use two colors to highlight. Whenever it's about ABT, I use red color. Whenever it's about, can I actually add color? I don't know. Okay, let me delete the white color actually. Okay, whenever it's about ABB, I use green color. Okay, so I'll show you now. ABT is this one. Ulangan jualan, 260. Hutang lapuk, 500. If it's about ABB, ulangan berlian, 130. Discount diterima, 370. Did you guys realize these 4 things is among the 5 that I mentioned? 2 types of pulangan, 2 types of discount, hutang lapuk. They only didn't come up with discount delivery. So once we identified they are among the 5 I listed, did they mention the word belum record? Now, if they didn't, obviously they didn't. What must we do? 2 steps. Which the 2 steps are? Label whether it's for account perdagangan, hasil or belanja. Second, put them into account kawalan. End of story. Do you need to do anything towards your baki HB? Do not do that. If you do that, wrong. Your baki will be affected, your PKK cannot balance, everything will be wrong. Okay, so make sure you do not do extra steps because they never say balloon record. It didn't hit the quota. Okay, if it says balloon record, I will do all 3 steps. But they never. So, right now, pulangan jualan and pulangan berlian both goes into account perdagangan. But which account kawalan they are going to? This one is account kawalan belum terima. Pulangan berlian then account kawalan belum bayar. So I want to write short form now because otherwise waste of time. So BT means belum terima. BB belum bayar. Diskon diterima leh. Diskon diterima is a hasil. Put account kawalan belum bayar. Hutang labor is a belanja. Account kawalan belum terima. So actually, if you don't want to write the AKKBT, also can one because we already use different color to differentiate them. So as long as it's red, it's meant for A, calculate jualan credit. If it's in green, B, calculate belian credit. Okay, so settle. As fast as that. Okay, now guys, from now on, every other point you see in the maklumat tambahan is not related to ABT and ABB anymore. What must you do? Every other point? 2 steps. Do the regular 2 steps. Do not do 3 steps for me, okay? So what are the 2 steps? Number 1, kenderaan disusut nilaikan 10% atas cost. Cost means cost times percentage. This is the formula. Okay, now where can you find the cost of your kenderaan? Pretty simple. There has been no changes for your kenderaan since the beginning till the end. It's always been 20,000, correct? So not much of a difficulty. Just take 20,000 times 10%. What do you get? Okay, I choose to put together over here. SN kenderaan. Because all your belanja are within the list, I think better, okay? 2,000. But don't forget, with SN comes SNT. So susut nilai terkumpul, I personally prefer to put beside the cost. Like how your perabot does, then you can just see everything together in the same group. Can I? Right, continue. Point 5. Faedah atas pinjaman 8%. Now, you see, actually at the dibayar, right, there's already a faedah atas pinjaman. Means I did pay, but can I know if this number is correct or wrong? We cannot confirm, right? So we're gonna go and check first. 8% 1 year. Pinjaman, 10,000. 10,000 times 8%. How to become 350? Cannot be lah, right? So guys, 10,000 if times 8% is 800 ringgit. If I want this to become 800, how can I do that? We actually added 450 to it, correct? But that 450, you need to explain. How come can suddenly be inside the faedah atas pinjaman? You never pay. How can you actually just write like that for me? So we need to mention that this is actually a belum bayar, correct? But feels like a bit tight on space, right? Okay. See whether you guys want to put them at the 31st December list or not. If you want to, you can put here FAP, faedah atas pinjaman. You add 2 words behind. Belum bayar. In that way, your 800 makes sense already because you pay 350 what. If you really want to talk about how it became 800, it's only a 450 difference. So I tell you, I added the 450 in because it's a belum bayar. So did we do 2 steps for 450? Yes, we added to the bayar. We also put it as liability semasa already. So 2 steps, both also uses 450. Okay, right, so continue. Last point already Pemilik telah mengambil barang niaga. Perkara ini belum direkodkan. This one actually doesn't really depends on the belum recordkan. Even if they don't say, we still need to do 2 steps one. Because why, guys? Ambil barang niaga. What is this incident here? Ambilan, correct? Did ambilan appear before? No. So you create ambilan yourself. Took 550. Of course, this is your first step, okay? You made it an ambilan. And secondly, guys, where do we minus the barang niaga from? See if you guys remember. It must be from alphabet B one. What is that thing that you minus out from? Yes, very good, Samfong. Belian. So if you still think about inventory, guys, now you form 5 already. You're gonna SBM soon, you know. You still minus inventory, cannot lah. Cannot forgive you, okay? Guys, barang niaga, only in chapter 2, form 4, you can use inventory. Ever since form 4, chapter 2 ended, it's always been belian when it's ambil. So you don't change your mind, okay? Always belian that you deduct. Where is belian? Over here. But please be reminded that we still have a Berlian credit yet to find. So do you think this is your final answer yet? No. So what should we do? Okay, process. I put beside. I open a bracket. The 4003 will now have the 550 deducted first, but I will need to wait to add Berlian credit in. That way, then my Berlian is become the jumlah number. Okay, so can you guys do this? Everything good? Any questions? Okay, if you guys cannot catch up, right, I just squeeze out my note a bit, then you can screenshot. Any part you haven't written, take a picture. I pause for like 5 seconds. No problem, huh? Okay, come. Now we are all ready. I want to be doing the jualan and the berlian credit first. Huh? I want to say for account kawalan, right, it's always going to be having basic 3 things. Okay, what are the basic 3? Baki BB, bank, Baki HB. These 3 are basics, okay? And this bank word is where a lot of people misunderstood. Always when we do account kalan, I say bank, right? A lot of students copy this for me. You bring your Baki HB bank for me. Do what? No, you are talking about ABT, right? This bank word must have a catatan bergu with ABT. So means, yes, you look at account bank, but you take the word account belum terima number. That's how you do system catatan bergu, okay? So now let's go and highlight the things for ABT first. I use back the same color scheme now, okay? Red color for ABT. Baki awal, 1008. Baki RQ, 1740. Take these two. The bank value is what we receive from the customer, 7,500. So that is the basic 3 things you would take. And extra 2 is going to be pulangan jalan and hutang lapor. So total 5 things for your kawalan belum terima. Can? Right, next is going to be for kawalan belum bayar. Same 3 things. Baki PB, Baki HB. What else? Bank. In your account bank, do you see account belum bayar? Yes, we did pay to them. So this is my bayaran kepada ABB. That's why my explanation inside is bank law. Okay, so for ABT and ABB both has 5 things in the account column. So let's go ahead, do that now. Only we can proceed to the rest. Okay, come. Get ready your paper again. Okay, page 11. Part A. No matter what, I think by the time SPM now, we don't want to take the risk. Of course, they said menghitong, I know. But if you want to be safe, you don't show them the process, how you know if your final answer is wrong. There is no process or format for them to see. They cannot give you format mark. But if you did format for them, at least even your answer is different. They can still give you marks for format, So that's why, to be safe, we always show them how you calculate the jalan and the belian credit. Okay? So, title, Account Kawalan Belum Terima. What is account kawalan belum terima? For us, we just view it as a normal as a semasa. So the left side is positive, the right side is negative. But actually, to be honest, we don't really use the plus minus thing. We just put for your reference. You know why I put that. Okay? So at the beginning, start with baki awal. 1,800. What's the date? You look at the top. 1st Jan 2025. Put in now. Baki BB. 1,800. After you have put in your Baki BB, please change your dates. to December 31st. Because in Form 5, basically, even you see Form 4, this kind of account, right? They don't really want exact dates one. They just want to conclude for the entire year what happens to your APT. So you just put first day, January 1st for your Baki BB. The rest is all going to be year end. Okay? Come. For our middle part, whichever you want to put first also can, but your HB must be last, okay? So usually my flow is, after Baki BB, I will put in the bank value we received from the ABT, 7,005. You remember catatan buku? Now I'm looking at the debit side. If I bring it out from the buku tunai, it will be coming to the credit of your account, kawalan. And why is it that so? Because they pay you money, ma. Of course, their debt become lesser, lor. So logic, okay? Put in already. What else? We still have two more. Pulangan jalan, hutang lapor. These two definitely is negative for APT because they return you the product, they run away. Of course, cannot get the money back already. So we deduct lah, okay? So pulangan jalan, hutang lapor. 260, 500. Okay, done? Then we are going to do the last step. Baki HB. What is it? Baki HB is 1740. Let's try to balance it now. Obviously, your left side is impossible to be balanced with your right side one lah, because number is so much different, right? It's okay. Find out your right side first. 7,005 plus 260, 500 and 1740. Exactly 10,000. So if you minus 1,008, you want to find the difference, right? 8,200. And this is what we call jualan. Now make sure they are very sensitive with the wording, okay? You do not write the word credit here. If you do, they will minus your mark or even not give you the mark. So you be careful. Do not say jualan debit or jualan debit pula. Jualan tunai or jualan credit. No need, because jualan here, if it's in the ABT, it must be credit already. So don't state the obvious. They just want the word jualan, okay? Once you're done, complete the HB by bringing it opposite 2026. Jan 1st. Baki BB. 1740. Okay, now immediately bring this 8,002 into your kertas soalan. Can you see the friend? Jualan. Combine them together. This one is what we call jualan secara tunai. We receive it on the spot. Jualan tunai. If you receive it later, jualan credit. So both the jualan added together. $8,002, 18,300, 26500. This number is what we use in the account perdagangan. Okay? Done. Next, berlian. We're going to use the same length also. For part B, also 8 rows of space, same like your kawalan belum terima. Account kawalan belum bayar. So what's the difference between the B and the A? Of course, it's the positioning, because now we're talking about liability, right? Opposite position. Okay, so what do we start off with? Same things. 2025, Jan 1st. Baki BB. So what's the number for your Baki? Look at the highlighted numbers. I use green color for all of them. So you don't know for your color, like you choose your own color, right? So ABB, Baki BB is 2005. Put in. Then change the date. December 31st. The other side also. December 31st. Okay, next thing. Bank. Which number is considered bank? In your account bank, This one written with account belum bayar. Because we're doing on the opposite side, lah, catatan bergu once again. It took up from the bank credit side. Of course, it comes to the debit of your account belum bayar. So 6,900 once put in, then last two things is going to be pulangan belian, 130, discount diterima, 370. What to do last? Baki, HP. Sometimes you're too rush. I see a lot of students forget to put Baki HP. Start to calculate Berlin already. How? Cannot. If Baki HP is absent, you will be finding Baki HP. Cannot find Berlin one, okay? So HP must be present. Only your Berlin can be found. Okay? So now, HP, 2,300. What do we do? Same. Total first on the completed side. Get your right side to be the same. Compare it with the 2005. Then your Berlin is out. Okay, so 6,900 plus 130, 370, 2,300. 9,700. Yes, very good. If you minus 2005, your Berlian is 7,002. Great. Done already. Bring the HP to the opposite side. 2026, Jan 1st. Baki BB. 2,300. Okay, come. What do you do with the Berlian? Bring the 7,002. This is Berlian secara credit, but it's not all because my Berlian actually has a Berlian tunai. We also have an ambilan to be deducted. Only I can add this Berlian credit in. That's why the importance of planning your step first before you do any other things. This can help you recall what you should do. Okay, so you follow to press on your calculator. 4,300 if deducted 550 plus 7,200, your Berlian that is meant for account perdagangan will be then 10,950. Okay, now you see, even though part A and B, just like that, 4 marks. I know it's very little, but if you don't do it, can you get your APUR right? You cannot because they hold the most crucial information, your Jalan and your Berlian part of it. So if you don't find them, you don't spend effort doing them. Even though it's 4 marks, you will lose all 25 marks if you don't do them properly. That's why you have to be careful. Okay, right, so now that we completed the kawalan already, let's come back to the soalan here. I will have you to label things that are left in your account bank, okay? Now, what are the things you do not need to use anymore? Account belum terima. You don't need to use it anymore. Usually when it appears, it's only meant for catatan berbu. They just needed to show you that bank has done it. You haven't do in account kawalan. So if you've done it already, 2 steps complete, remove. Account belum bayar as well, completed. So whatever left now is all the info I need for my account perdagangan dan untung rugi. So at least you know this is AP, right? What is commission? If it's under the diterima section, commission is a hasil. No changes, I still have to take it one, guys. Not every single thing needs adjustment, you understand? So even there's no adjustment, they are there, then hasil. The other side, we have susut nilai, gaji, belanja loh. You add the symbol yourself, no changes. Insurance changed already. Kada bayaran also changed. Sewa got no changes. Faedah atas pinjaman. So overall, how many hasil and belanja do we have? Hasil is 1, 2. Belanja 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kan? So you will have dua hasil, 8 belanja. Is there any questions that you all would like to ask? If no, guys, because I spent a little bit extra time already, so I don't want to like completely not do kaedah perbandingan. Of course, I hope I can do part 1 and part 2 with you, but these two, right, the format is already inside the nota. You can try to do it yourself, but just one thing I want to remind you guys about the cost jalan section, okay? So for this question, right, account perdagangan, we don't have Audi. So what happens is after you take jalan, tolak pulangan jalan, you get jalan bersih, right? Isn't it cost jualan? Now, the cost jualan section will have inventory awal, berlian, pulangan berlian. But what happens after is not berlian per se. You will have this layer, cost berlian. Okay, so what I want to clarify with you is that yes, usually when berlian tolak pulangan berlian, you should name it berlian per se, but that is only under the condition that you have further adjustments to do. Like Audi, you want to add in, then of course it's not the final amount of your berlian yet, right? But if after you tolak pulangan, there's nothing else to it already, then of course this number is considered as the final cost you spend on purchasing. So that's why you need to be flexible because this cost jalan section, right? Not every time the berlian per se, the cost berlian, cost barang untuk dijual is there. But at least I can confirm with you, KBUD is most definitely there. Cost jalan also. But cost berlian and berlian per se is not definite. So what is a situation that I do not have cost berlian? If there is no pulangan berlian. Don't you see that your inventory hour will straight away add with berlian? That is where you finally straight away go to cost barang untuk dijual. So you have to practice a few way of the format. It doesn't always come in the same way one. So you need to practice more lah. Okay? Right. So any questions you all want to ask? Just now in my Mandarin session, I have a student feeling very confused. She said, "Teacher, how come in Kawalan I already have the pulangan jualan, pulangan berlian written inside on the negative side. Then now in my report, I need to deduct again. I want to say, can you see where this pulangan jalan is? It's inside account kawalan belum terima. What you see minus now is pulangan jalan tolak ABT. It's not pulangan jalan tolak jualan. They both are completely opposite from each other. They have no exact relation at all as of now. So that's why, guys, you see, when I calculate this jalan, right, didn't I take the total from here? Did the total include pulangan jalan? Yes. So that's why you say they already deducted. Not yet. They actually include back the 260 in order for you to later take the jalan minus the pulangan jalan one. So don't misunderstand that. When I put inside kawalan means the pulangan jalan and jalan already done. I cannot do it a second time. No. This here is only between pulangan jalan and ABT. Has nothing to do with jalan one. So that's why later in your report, you need to make sure you still do the tolak pulangan. Okay? Right, so that's all I want to say for kaedah analysis. So please try out point 1 and point 2. The jawaban is all, I think, with the physical note together one. But if you don't see it there, right, then it's in the same link where you find the PDF notes. There will be answers given. So you just check through the PDF lah. Okay? Alright, so open for questions. Anybody want to ask anything? Because I supposed to accommodate 5 more minutes for this topic one, but since I'm not doing the AP one and PAK, you guys want to ask anything? Anything at all? If no, right, then maybe can you guys respond me with number 1? So you just type a 1 at the chat so I know, okay, we can move on. Teacher, can I ask where did you get the 1K from to plus? Over here. The bank part where you see the perabot word. So we spend money to buy the perabot. So that's why your cost added 1,000. Okay. A. Want to use a different way, okay? Can. Alex is famous in SPM or perbandingan. Actually, they are both quite even though. Record tak lengkap, in fact, is not always in SPM one. If we check, right, so far in the past years, record tak lengkap only appeared a few years. Yeah, so it's not a very popular topic. Chapter 2 is not. Teacher lesson so good, I understand everything. I miss you. Oh, come back to my class. Hey, okay, come. You finish puasa already. Can ask your parents send you back. Okay. Record tak lengkap is soalan wajib or can choose one. It really depends on. You have to see the mark low. Because usually this chapter is 20 or 25 marks. So anyhow, no matter it's wajib or can choose, the mark also quite a lot. So you just focus on aiming for it at 25 marks lah. Yeah, you see, just 5 marks difference ma. And if you look at it, right, now we do chapter 4 in the usual class. You will realize chapter 4 is much more complicated. I mean, not complicated lah, it's like more troublesome. Because chapter 4 got a lot process. But this one mainly just to solve the pelarasan, like how your form 4 does, and also a bit of hidden things lah. So I would say record tak lengkap is hot topic for your paper 2 bahagian A. If you want me to say that, I would say bahagian A lah, usually. I do chapter 4, trial paper very fun. Yes, correct. Chapter 4 is not hard, but it's very time consuming. That's the only comment I can say lah, okay? If you compare difficulty, if you know how to do pelarasan, right? Chapter 2 is very easy one. You just need to follow my nota for analysis, okay? Alright, so anything I would say, midterm record tak lengkap appear that popular in SPM usually, so I want to know. Perbandingan, I would say you lower your expectation because usually perbandingan, right, can 10 marks one. So if you want to score high marks, it's always the analysis. The perbandingan don't give a lot of marks usually. Yeah, okay, so now everyone is okay. I move on, come. Perbandingan, right, I don't need you to write separate paper already. I don't waste time because perbandingan is very easy one, okay? So we look at page number 2. That is where the nota is. I still got 30 minutes with you guys. Okay, time flies. So right now, page 2 is kaedah perbandingan. This one, right, is like how they do shortcut. Okay, now usually in record tak lengkap, a lot of people don't understand actually what does chapter 2 want. Chapter 2 record tak lengkap is for you to cari untung atau rugi bersih. That is the main point of record tak lengkap actually, because they have missing information. So if I can give you a lot of those info, I fill you in with info like the kaedah analysis, you can find me like a perfect list. You give me everything. Asset, liability, EP, belanja hasil. You use the normal way, you find untung or rugi bersih for me. But kaedah perbandingan is like those businesses, they have a lot of missing information. They can only find you asset, liability, and EP. That's the maximum. In fact, no EP, you know. Sometimes the kaedah perbandingan can give you EP, but mostly they provide A, they provide L. They only give you these two things. Okay, so that's why if they give you asset and liability, it's totally normal one. Okay, and then what do we do with it? We are actually saying perbandingan as membandingkan model awal dengan model AQ. You see, because they don't want to know using hasil belanja. Not using hasil belanja. So they save you a lot of time, actually. Okay. To be fair lah, if perbandingan comes out at 10 marks question, right, I surely do it one. Because it's a free mark. If 10 marks, right, you only do two things. Penyata menghitung model, penyata mengira untung rugi. End of story. So the 10 marks is like super fast. You don't even need to do PKK. But even if it's 20 marks, it's also very worthy. Because still the two steps, but they need you to complete the full PKK for them. So also free mark lah, I would say. Okay. So definitely, if you see perbandingan, do not hesitate. Choose it, okay? Unless you have a better option, you know, okay? So not using hasil and belanja saves you so much time. But the thing is how you find untung or rugi per se without hasil and belanja, we need to think outside the box. Usually you take H minus B. You find untung, you find rugi. But you cannot just go by one way, What if now you don't have hasil and belanja? So we thought about this place. EP. Your equity per minute also contains untung or rugi per se, right? So how does it work? Is that usually I start with model hour. In the middle, we have untung per se. Then we found model AQ if we say minimum lah. But maximum, we can also have what? Model tambahan, ambilan. Then it becomes model AQ, right? But you see, if I really don't have these two, basically to find untung per se, I just take model AQ tolak model hour, then I find untung per se already. That's why you want to waste so much time when you only have when you only have asset and liability, then you focus on finding your model hour and AQ for me. This is like how your form 4 works, you know. In form 4, topic, ever since you start learning all the calculation thing, form 4 chapter 2, form 4 chapter 4, form 4 chapter 5, every single chapter, they make you find model yourself one. If you can record that in your form 4 time now, okay? So how you find model? Asset, tolak, liability. You just do this 2 times. Then you find your model hour, you find your model AQ. Okay? Usually among the 2 model, they will only ask for penyata menghitung model AQ. Why? Because this one will require pelarasan. You need to do adjustments first. So they want to make it tougher for you lah, okay? But anyhow, it's not gonna be as tough as analysis lah, because the things they wanted is very like basic only, like very surface lah, okay? Now, I wanna say some of the school teachers, right, they will scold you if you do my method. So you just be aware lah how your teacher want it in school. Mostly, 50% of the school teacher, they will ask you to do this in your asset. Let's say you have kenderaan. They will force you minus susut nilai terkumpul kenderaan. Perabot got SNT, right? Minus susut nilai terkumpul perabot. Can I know if anyone here also have the same problem? Does your school teacher ask you to do this? I think surely got one. Now my class got 28 people. Confirm got one. Your school teacher is like this. At least one lah, I say. Don't have meh? Everybody also use the shortcut method. Or you never listen. Every time when people don't my teacher good at editing, that is perfect, okay? That's why you see double standard one. Some school teacher cannot. Another teacher can. So how? SPM, don't bother lah. Just do the easier way, correct? Why you want to bother wasting your time? So if your teacher never requests good at anything, whenever you have SNT, you just do this. Kenderaan, bracket, you put your course number minus your SNT number, you're good to go. Now, I will tell you my point that my teacher said SPN can use that method, then you saw why so ganjiao. Yeah, because some of the teacher are like that. I don't understand also. They will scold my student one, you know. So y'all don't go and say, my tuition teacher say can, okay? She even triggered, okay? Your school teacher usually hates tuition teacher one. I don't know for what reason, okay? But if you ever say, my tuition teacher say can, your teacher will hate you very much, okay? So you do not do that, okay? Guys, if she say cannot, then you listen, no? Okay, what else can you do? You scold her, cannot, right? Okay, so that's why I tell you guys. This method is suitable for one reason. This is a penyata menghitung. It's an informal penyata. I don't even show outsider about this. I just need to make sure my boss can understand why I want to write until so formal. Okay, unless it's PKK. You see, in PKK, confirm you have cost SNT nilai buku one ma. Why you want to waste time? So that's why if you're gonna do your PKK anyways, in your penyata menghitung, just use the bracket for every single working. Okay, including account, belum, terima. When is it that I will show the bracket? If there is PHR, okay? Because students usually listen more to tuition teacher, not their school teacher. I would say it's true also lah, but it's different because you feel like you pay for the tuition classes, right? So you be like, you listen more lah. But when you go to school, you be like, free one anyways. If you're government school lah, okay? Right, so anyways, ABT. You will take your ABT number, tolak your PHR, same way. Usually, I only show two working, the SNT and the PHR. If you want to ask me, teacher, what about the other workings? Do I show? You look at your time. Do you have time or not? You have time? You show every single working you can. But if you have no time, you write out. It doesn't give you extra mark one. Okay? The best thing is you can fulfill your answer first. Later, you got extra time, you want to write your working, go and write it. Okay? So if your teacher say, you don't write working, you get 0 mark. Don't listen to her. No such thing one. SPM, they try their best to help you. Your answer correct, you never write working, they give you 0 mark. You think it makes sense or not? Of course not. So, of course, that is only your school teacher lah, okay? They wanted you to write the working for her to check. So then, if in the exam, SPM time, you really got no time, don't force yourself already. Just do whatever working that is necessary to show. Then the rest, if not necessary, then we just leave it, okay? Right, so liability usually not much of working to show one lah. So we just put whatever, okay? And then we find model RQ. Any questions? If no, this is what you need to show. But meanwhile, the penyata menghitung model, awal, don't need. This one, if they never request, just use your calculator. Okay, asset plus, liability minus, end of story. Okay, so we found it already. Wait, so I say this one is model awal, EP, right? Model RQ, also EPR, we can now move on to finding untung rugi already. A bit of typo there lah, you'll just ignore. By the way, I want to say, in this topic, they are very specific to not mixing things together. Your step 1 only can be asset liability. You do not ever put EP in for me. You say, teacher, got modal tambahan. Do I add here? No. You want to find modal awal? You only can use asset liability. You want to find modal RQ? Also asset liability only. Cannot use EP. When is it that you can use EP? Here. Untung rugi. That's why in the question, right, I will make you label at least got A, got L, got EP. So you know A, L goes to the first section. EP will go to the second step only. So what are the EP things you can have? Not much. Only modal awal, modal RQ, ambilan, modal tambahan. Maximum 4 things. If you can find 4 things, go ahead. Can start your penyata mengira untung rugi already. So how does your usual EP looks like? Including modal tambahan lah, okay? We will have modal awal to start, plus untung bersih. If rugi bersih, then tolak lah, okay? Then modal tambahan below of untung bersih, minus ambilan, you get modal RQ. Now, why does the penyata mengira doesn't look like the normal EP? The reason is I have something missing. Untung bersih. If untung bersih is missing, I want to say lah, no matter how you want to proceed, you cannot, because it's a positive item that is missing there. You cannot find your real model RQ anyway. So that's why we don't proceed with PKK first. We look for the first and the last thing. So when you have your final answer here, model RQ, that is when you can go back reverse to find your inner number. Okay, so we will start off with model RQ. We reverse it back, ambilan becomes positive. Okay, we reverse my and find back in time, so that's why plus lah. And then when you go to this group, right, modal tambahan is a positive before, then it becomes negative. Modal awal, also a positive before, becomes negative. So once you plus minus 2 things, you will eventually find your answer. Untung atau rugi. But say, I cannot guarantee that it's always a untung. If you found negative, just call it rugi per se. Clear? Okay, now how do you know if it's modal tambahan? Anything lah related to bawa masuk, pemilik menggunakan, asset peribadi. You see all this that is related to contribution, modal tambahan. No doubt. In this topic, definitely. Ambilan also, the moment they say mengambil, ambilan. Okay, so now is the execution part. How you actually solve the question is another story. Because I know the format is very simple. Everyone knows the format one. But when you start doing, right, then you start questioning yourself, hey, what I take, what I don't take. Okay, so you're not sure, right? Now I teach you. Okay, come. Again, I'm going to use the first question. If, again, you did the first question already, then you do the second question. Okay, yeah, you sendiri lah, change. So page 6. Everyone done with the nota here? Do you guys need me to, let you screenshot first? Yes? No? Good. 5 seconds. To be safe lah. Okay. Then you can screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, come. Page 6, This is the first question. Now guys, how do you know it's record tak lengkap? Again, they will say it one. Seorang peruncit merekod maklumat perniagaan tanpa menggunakan sistem catatan buku. Of course lah, you never use sistem catatan buku. How your information can be complete leh? Okay, so now that he never used system catatan buku still, you think that, oh, maybe I should do 2 steps for them. But in perbandingan, no. Always is 1 step. Almost everything is 1 step, except for cases where they say belum record and both the item related is asset or liability. That is when we do 2 steps. Okay? Only do things related to A, L, E, P. If belum record appears to things related to A, L, E, P, then yes, 2 steps. So what if they are not related to both asset liability EP? It's only one asset, the other is belanja. Then don't do the belanja lah. Okay, remember, we avoid hasil. We avoid belanja. Can I? Alright, come, let's start. First thing, baki. What is the baki about? This time I don't write BB and HP. I will write awal RQ. Did anyone notice anything odd here? I hope you do, because it's so important. If you didn't realize, I'm sorry to say your whole question might be wrong. Okay, yes. Sampong is correct. Anyone else? Not the Alatan Kedai. Not yet, not yet. Something is wrong. At the area I just wrote. What did I write? Awal? Akiwa? Yes. 30 June. Guys, is that 1 year? Is it 1 year? No, if January to start, 30 June to end, this is only how many months, guys? 6 months. If you didn't notice this, everything is wrong. Your susut nilai lah, whatever that needs calculation of month lah, you get times 12 months for me, okay? I want to say you need to be alert for this because in SPM, it was 1 year, record tak lengkap, come out 6 months. Students didn't notice. They all do 12 months. It's a very serious case, okay? So guys, make sure you read and look at the tempo. If it's 6 months, it's fine one, because your tempo got 3 kinds ma. 3 bulan, 6 bulan, 12 bulan. If they want to count 3 months, also can one. It's actually a possible question. But so far, I've seen only 6 and 12 lah. So you make sure you read, you look at the date, okay? So confirm it's 6 months already. Later, everything, if it according to month, we will make it half, okay? So, label items are usually if you want to fast, you can make AL, but you have to depend on this. Did they ask for PKK? If yes, sorry to say, you cannot avoid, you make sure you label them because you don't want to do a double work later, okay? So, premise. Alatan kedai. Perabot. All three, ABS. Inventory, ABT. AS. Account belum bayar, LS. Prabayar, AS. Belum bayar, LS. You notice that I never care about whether it affects insurance or gaji or not because these two is not used in this method. In kaedah perbandingan, we don't need belanja dengan hasil. So that's why if they have anything affecting the belanja hasil, I don't care. I just want to know if it's asset or liability. That's all you're concerned about. So it's way faster than kaedah analysis. Same goes to kadar bayaran here, belum bayar. LS. Finally, bank. SS and masuk. First thing to do, I want you all to find model hour because you will need it for your untung atau rugi. How to find? Okay, I put the symbol for you guys. You want to use your pencil to do also can. As long as it's asset plus liability minus. Sorry. Too fast already. Okay, so overall, only 1, 2, 3. This 3 number minus the rest all positive. Can you guys use your calculator and try now? 40,000, 3,800, 5,700, 16,500, 2,700. All is positive. And then here comes 7,870 minus plus 160 minus 200 minus 400 plus 4,880. Get it? Yes or no? 65270. Yes, okay. Now that we already found our model hour, the next thing to do is to solve the points below so I can prepare myself for my model RQ. Okay, so come. Point 2. What did they say? Puan Hakimah telah menggunakan wang milik peribadinya. So I don't care what is it for. She used her own money, right? Must be for the shop. That's why it's here alerting me. What do we call this? Do not doubt it. It must be model tambahan. Yes. 14,000. And as to the later part, what did she say to use the 14,000 for? She used the 14,000 to membayar belanja mengubah suai premise. Mengubah suai premise is to do renovation. Okay, now a lot of times you guys are not sure. Does it really affect the ABS or not? I would say you just compare it this way lah. 2 houses. One sell at 300,000, because there is no renovation done. The other house is selling at 600,000, double of the price. Okay, why? Because there is renovation done, they have extended the kitchen, everything else is done nicely for you. Which one would you buy? Of course, you buy the 600,000 house because you don't need to waste cash, renovation uses so much cash. So that's why whether or not renovation does a difference to your property, yes, the moment you renovate it, your property value will increase. So that's why renovate will help you in increasing ABS. Okay, now you want to know whether they have recorded it before or not. ABS is the easiest to check one. Why? Because asset bukan semasa goes by the rule of prinsip cost. So supposedly the front and the back must be the same value, right? Did they give you any value at the back? No. So if you want to say, teacher, what about if they recorded? How would it look like? If they recorded, you will see this printed there, 54,000. But they never. They just put question mark for you. Means they want you to do it on your own. Understood, guys? So I want to say, I've seen so many questions, right? Every time when perbandingan, especially model tambahan, it's always about asset bukan semasa one. So you have to do two steps. Almost every perbandingan question I've done so far is about ABS when it comes to model tambahan. Unless it's not, then you do not do anything to your asset bukan semasa. Otherwise, you can check whether there's any difference between the front and the back. If there is a difference already, don't do anything else because they have done it for you. Okay, right, so done. Point 2. Point number 3. Sepanjang tempoh tersebut, beliau telah mengeluarkan tunai sebanyak 80. Sorry, a bit distracted. My cat was stolen by my husband suddenly. Not Maple though. My husband just stole like mochi and go up. Okay. Anyways, 870. So distracting. Yeah, cat snatcher. Just suddenly he ran out. He's having seminar, so I think the students are asking to look for mochi lah. My cats are like famous. Always my students say, teacher, I want to see. I want to see. I want to see. Later I show you guys lah. Okay. All right. After he released my cat, later end of class I can show you guys. All right. So the 870 is the amount mengeluarkan. When you see mengeluarkan, must be ambilan or not? We can also check on one thing lah. Is it for own use? Kediamannya. Confirm. Kediaman means your own house. Okay. So that's why personal already lah. Okay. What do? You call this ambilan. And I can confirm with you one thing. I've seen so many questions once again. I have been teaching for 8 years lah. I think you guys can trust me lah. Okay. For these 8 years, I see the same questions again and again and again. Every time when it comes to ambilan, one step only. For kaedah perbandingan. Why? Because do you see any tunai in the soalan? No. You say, teacher, bank got ma, but do you see changes in your bank? How you can confirm they never do the ambilan before? You cannot confirm because how they become 8990? They never explain like how the kaedah analysis is. If you are in kaedah analysis, you can see clearly whether they catat the ambilan before or not. But now, they don't even care about the tunai thing one, okay? So the main point is to tell you, they took this one and that one. So you calculate for me, what is your jumlah ambilan? So if 870 is one of the number, the other number is barang-barang. I also don't need to care about the barang-barang because usually if barang is to be deducted from belian what? But belian is belanja, not related also. So don't take it. We just want to know how much 250 sebulan. This is where you will do wrong if you didn't realize the 6 months just now. A lot of people times 12. But it's only 6 months that I want more for this question. So what should you do? You should be taking 250 times 6, okay? Can you guys calculate how much is 250 times 6 and then combine it with 870 for me? That is your ambilan. Yes, very good, Rowing. 2370. Good job. Whoever who found it also. Thank God I remember only 6 months. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. So that's why, guys, very important, this one. The question can be so easy until you forgot about the date. You make sure you check first, okay? Because we are so used to doing 12 months. Suddenly, they make it 6 months. Gone case already, everybody, okay? Your A plus fly away, okay? Just because of this question. All right, so anyways, 2370. EP. You see, I never write negative EP or plus EP because if we were to use it to find untung rugi, we need to terbalikkan, right? So I scared if I put the plus minus, it will affect you. So for now, we just neutrally, we put EP first lah, okay? Later in the PKK, only you sendiri put the positive, the negative, okay? Settled. Point 4. Seorang account belum terima, hutangnya 120, meninggal dunia. Hutang dihapus sebagai hutang labur. Now, I don't need the hutang labur because it's a belanja, but I just need to know how it affects the ABT. Dihapuskan, obviously, to minus. You see, it's not like how I analysis is. Analysis, before I minus ABT, I need to think so many things. Is it belum record lah? Is it this? Is it that lah? This one, no need. Because ABT, hutang labur. 2 steps, right? Which one is asset? ABT. Hutang lapor, I don't need. Obviously, they don't want me to do that already lah. So then what should we do? Minus from ABT. So your account belum terima. Do not change the front. Baki awal is not your target for pelarasan. When we do adjustment, we only do year end. 6 months, 6 months end. Okay, so 30 June. So you minus from there. 3,100. Tolak 120. 2980. Kan? This is your new ABT. Alright, so finally, alatan kedai. Oh, this one, right? Just now you guys got notice, because the front and the back has changes, right? But guys, nothing to care about. You only see this as your cost. You know why there's not any anything affecting you? Because this is not analysis. Secondly, even if I want to have susun nilai, I cannot. Can you see the price increasing? How to susut nilai if it increases? There's only one case here. How did the cost increase from 1st January to 30 June? Only one reason. We buy new alatan kedai. Which buying new alatan kedai doesn't need any clarification. So when we calculate susut nilai using formula, you just take the year-end figure. Unless they swap it, it is like this. Then it's different story. You really have to find out the difference and tell me if it's susut nilai. You understand? If they swap the position, it's from higher number to a lower number, susut nilai. But it's from lower number to higher number, nothing to do for kaedah perbandingan. So right now, I don't need the susut nilai, but I need to calculate it to get S&T, correct? How do you do atas cost? Cost times percentage, correct? So I will just put it here, S&T. That's what we want, right? Okay, I wrote it out myself because before this, there were no S&T before. That's why I can create it myself lah. The first year you calculate, SN and S&T are the same number. So that's why, guys, take 10% times 4,200. Don't times 3,008. Now I know you found 420, right? Do you guys remember one thing? This 420 is wrong. If you do that, it's wrong. What is wrong with the 420? Anyone realize? Nobody realized. Okay, yes, okay, good, you realize. 420 is for whole year. I only want 6 out of 12. So what must you do to the 420? Half it. What you take here? 210. You need to remind yourself of that, okay? So I will write out for you, like it's supposed to be 4,200 times 10% initially, but because we're not doing setahun, you need to make sure it's 6 over 12, okay? Teacher, how do you get 54? Yes, you take this model tambahan value, you add to your ABS, so it becomes 54,000. I put here for you to see. Okay, right, so no problem, guys? Done? Okay, I still got 4 minutes. What we do? We show the A and the B out, okay? I might take a bit extra time lah, like a few minutes. I don't think you guys mind, right? If you mind, you just leave the class lah, okay? Since it's free anyways. You can leave if you're in a hurry, but I will go on until I finish part A and B at least, okay? So for A and B is what I target for you guys. In exam, before exam, you want to do practice, right? You don't care PKK. You care about A and B first. If kaedah perbandingan, you can do part A and part B. You are not going to worry about your C already because your PKK takes every single information from here. Okay, right, come. Your paper, you use a different paper law because just now we do only the part A, part A and the B. Okay, so this is gonna be page 6 question. 8. I believe you guys can write the title on your own because it's just going to be copying. So mainly it's my format that I want to show. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, I think. I can make it about 12. Starting with asset. So you don't need to split what ABS, AS. Just make it asset, make it liability, one group. So assets, I label for you guys because we're using only this plug, the RQ. You're looking for model RQ, right? So assets are 54,000, 4,002 with the S&T, per rabot, inventory, ABT, bank. Liability, we have 2, account belum bayar, kadar bayaran belum bayar. If all is good, we shall start. Premise. Okay, this one, you choose yourself. You want to show 50,000, 40,000 plus 14,000 or not. I'm not going to show. I will just put my answer straight. You can choose to put the first column or the second column. Okay, next. Alatan kedai, 4,200 minus 210. Only when there is S&T, I will write like this. Okay, so 4,002 minus 210, 3,990. Wait. Yes. Hi. My cat is requesting, and my class haven't end yet, but he requests to come in, okay? So we will just have him join our class for a bit lah, okay? Complaining. Right, so very noisy. Come, premise alatan kedai. Next one, berabot. Cannot see, show you guys, okay? Hi, cat. All right, berabot, 5,700. Inventory, make sure to add the word RQ, 15890. Account belum terima, I'll just choose to write the short form first. 2,980. Bank, 8,990. Okay, can calculate what's the total. $91,550. Okay, minus liability. You have two, account belum bayar, kadar bayaran belum bayar. $8,600, 470. You're sleepy already, my cat. Okay, let him go. Distracting. You guys cannot focus on my class later. 9,070. Can? So what is the final answer here? 82480. All his fur on my face. Bleh. Okay, so 82480. Model RQ, is done. We are going to calculate untung rugi right now. B. You just need, I think 8 rows is enough. It's very short. What do you do here? You terbalikkan your EP. So the first step is to bring this model RQ into the format as your first thing. 82480. Okay, after you put in your model RQ, then you start looking for the other three EP items. I already told you guys, in this format, maximum is 4 EP. Model awal, model RQ, ambilan, model tambahan. So if you go by reverse method, ambilan must come in first. 2370 plus. Add together with model RQ, 84850 minus model tambahan, model awal. It's always this sequence. You best not change the sequence because I think it's pretty risky lah. Because we are not changing the sequence. We are only flipping over the format. Okay. So model tambahan is 14,000. Model awal we found since the beginning 65270. Now I can see that the result is still gonna be a positive 79270. We put it in the bracket. That is where you find your untung per se. 5580. Untung per se. Okay, right. So we finished already today's session. We have kaedah analysis. We also have kaedah perbandingan. So in case anyone here, if you need the penyata penyesuaian bank explanation, once again, I already say I put it in my YouTube already. So this one is like in the past years that I did my May seminar. So past seminar lah. You can take a look at my other videos also. I think almost for the past years, every seminar I also got put since like I think 2022 or something like that. So you guys can take a look lah. Okay, whatever video can help you, you just view it. Okay, right. So any questions that you want to ask, you can stay here and ask. Otherwise, then I will see you when I see you. Okay. Teacher, I show my cat. Okay, but I've seen your cat before, right? You showed me before. Your Orient, right? Yeah. Okay, bye-bye. See you guys. Take care. If you got no question, you can leave already, okay? Bye-bye. So cute, your Orient. My long book almost finished. Can. Yeah, take from me. Can. No problem. Bye-bye. See you.